Hello children, I hope you are all happy and safe. Welcome to this special English hour. Here, every day, we will learn something new in a fun and interesting way. Are you ready to have fun? Okay, then let's start our day with a quick tongue twister. Children, now let's start our day with a quick tongue twister. Do you know what a tongue twister is? Okay, then let me tell you. Please repeat the sentence that I will be saying now. Susie works in a shoe shine shop. Susie works in a shoe shine shop. Susie works in a shoe shine shop. Now do you know why it's called a tongue twister? So children, let's say this sentence 5 times and let's say it a little faster. Susie works in a shoe shine shop. 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 Were you all able to say it right? I believe some of you may have fumbled. Even I, when I started learning this tongue twister, used to fumble many times. But then I finally got it right with practice. Children, if you enjoyed this tongue twister, please share it with your friends. Children, now I would like to ask you a few questions. Let us share our thoughts and ideas. Children, do you like to play sports? I like to run and also I like to play badminton. Children, have you been to any sports event? I love watching badminton matches. There is a stadium near my home and I always go to watch badminton matches there. Children, do you know that there are sports events that are organized at regional, national and at international level as well? Why are these sports events organized? These sports events are organized to encourage athletes and sports persons from all over the world. Children, have you heard about the Olympic Games? The Olympic Games were first started in Greece. And there are many sports events that are conducted as part of the Olympic Games. Children, have you heard about marathon? A marathon is a long race and it is conducted as part of the Olympic Games as well. Today, countries across the world conduct marathons for different purposes. People also take part in it with a lot of enthusiasm. Children, today we will be learning more about marathon. Children, while learning a language, it is very important that we keep learning new words. Now, I would like to share with you a few new words. Please listen to me carefully and note them down in your notebook. We will come across these words in the lesson that we'll be reading today. The first word is Athenians. 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 The second word is battle. 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 The third word is marathon. 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 The fourth word is legendary. 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 The fifth word is historic. 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 Children, let me repeat the words once again for you. Athenian. Battle. Marathon. Legendary. Historic. Children, please look out for these words in the lesson that we'll be reading today and try to guess their meaning. Children, we will be reading a very interesting lesson today. The Legend of Marathon. If you have a textbook, please open to page number 65 and point to the words as I read. If you don't have a textbook, please see your TV screens and listen to me carefully. Please look out for the words we just noted earlier and try to guess their meaning. The Legend of Marathon. The marathon is a sporting event. It is a running race of about 42 kilometers. The word marathon also means a task or event that lasts a long time and requires a lot of effort and patience. The first marathon race was organized at the time of the first Olympic Games, which were held in Greece. The marathon was started in the memory of a legendary Greek hero, Phidippides, who had carried an important message from the Battle of Marathon to Athens. Given below is the story of his famous run from Marathon to Athens. We do not know whether the story is historically accurate, but it has inspired many generations of sportsmen. So children, today we'll be learning about the legend of the marathon. Marathon is a sporting event. It is a 42-kilometer long running race. Marathon also means a long-lasting event which requires efforts and patience. Children, the first marathon was organized in the Olympic Games held in Greece. The marathon is organized in memory of the Greek hero Phidippides. Phidippides ran with a message during a battle from Marathon to Athens. Today's story is also about him. Come, let's read. About 2500 years ago, Persia was a mighty kingdom. Their large army had landed in the bay near the town of Marathon. Their target was Athens, a city-state in Greece. Athens had a small army compared to the Persian one, but the Athenian soldiers were very brave. They had faced the Persians before, but they needed help from other Greek kingdoms now. They decided to send a special messenger to the neighboring kingdom of Sparta. His name was Pheidippides. So, children, this story is 2500 years old. At that time, the Persian kingdom was very big. The Persian army was very mighty and it landed in the town of Marathon. Their target was Athens, a city in Greece. Now, the Athenian soldiers were less in number, but they were very strong. They had fought against the Persian army earlier as well. But this time they needed help from other states as well. So they decided to ask Sparta, a neighboring kingdom, for help. So Athens sent its special messenger, Pheidippides, to Sparta. Pheidippides was a young man who served as a day-long runner. He ran to Sparta like the wind. He covered the distance of nearly 100 kilometers in a day. But alas, the people of Sparta were busy with some ceremonies. They did not want to join the battle immediately. Pheidippides took this message back to Athens with a heavy heart, but on light feet. Again, he ran 100 kilometers within a day. Pheidippides served as a day-long runner. He took the message from Athens to Sparta, but the people of Sparta were busy in some ceremonies and did not want to join the battle with Athens against the Persians. With a heavy heart, Pheidippides ran back to Athens and informed them about this. Pheidippides was very fast as a runner. He covered almost 100 kilometers in a day. When the generals of Athens heard the cold Spartan response, they did not lose heart. They were ready to fight on their own. The Persian army was watching Athens like a cat watches a mouse hole. So they decided to launch a surprise attack on the Persians. The Athenian generals sent their flanks round the Persian forces like speeding arrows and began to draw them in. The Persians were not ready for battle. When the Athenian generals learnt that the Spartans did not want to support them in the battle, they decided to fight the battle on their own. They knew that the Persian army was watching them like a cat watches a mouse hole. So they decided to launch a surprise attack on the Persian army. The Persian army was not ready for battle when the Athenian army started shooting arrows at them. Even so, they were skilled archers. They shot arrows on the soldiers of Athens. But the arrows simply fell off their helmets and strong armors. Also, the Athenians knew their seashore well. The Persians were new to the terrain. Many of them were killed. Many more were injured. Some of them were lost in the marshy areas. The brave Athenians drove back every single remaining Persian soldier back to their ships anchored in the bay. The battle was over within a few hours. The Persian soldiers were skilled archers. They shot arrows at the Athenian army. But the Athenian soldiers also had their helmets and their strong armors on to protect them from these arrows. The Athenian soldiers knew the city of Athens and the territory well, while the Persians were new to the territory. Many of the Persian soldiers were killed, injured, and the Athenian soldiers made sure to drive every Persian soldier back on the ship. Within a few hours, the battle was over and the Athenian army won. The battle was over, but the Persians did not accept defeat. They saw that the entire army of Athens had rushed to the seashore, leaving the city of Athens far behind. Only the aged people, women, and children were left in the city. The Persians now devised a new plan. The sea route to the city of Athens was much shorter than the land route. The Persians decided to take the sea route and pounce upon Athens from the seaside. The Athenian army would take very long to travel back to Athens on foot with their heavy armor and weapons. Seeing the Persians, the defenseless people in the city of Athens would think that Athens had lost the battle. Then it would be easy for the Persians to take over the city. The entire Athenian army had reached the seashore. The city of Athens was almost empty. There were only children, women, and old aged people back at the city. The Persian army devised a new plan. They thought that if the entire army is at the seashore, they would take very long to go back to the city of Athens. While if the Persian army took the sea route and reached the city of Athens before the Athenian army, the people of the city would think that the Persians won the battle. The Persians would pounce on the city and take over it. The Athenian generals too were good strategists. When they saw the Persian fleet leave in a hurry, they understood the Persian plan. They resolved to go back to Athens as fast as possible to defend it. But it was very necessary to let the people of Athens know that they had won. Then they would not open the city gates to the Persians. They would wait for the victorious Athenian army to return. The city would be safe. Who would take this message to them? The message must be delivered before the Persians reached there. Who would travel faster than the Persian ships, and that too on a longer route? Who else but Phidippides? The Athenian army generals saw that the Persians were leaving with their ships in a rush. They knew surely the Persian army may be having another plan to take over the city of Athens. They may want to attack it from the sea route. So, the Athenian army generals decided that the people in the city of Athens need to be informed that Athens had won this battle. If they keep the city gates closed to the Persians, it will give the Athenian army time to reach the city of Athens from the land route. But who would give this message to the people of Athens? Someone who could cover the land route faster than the Persian ships. It was none other than Pheidippides. Pheidippides had already completed a run of more than 200 kilometers just the day before. But he was a brave young man. He would do anything for his state. Also, this time he was to carry a happy message. It was not easy for Pheidippides to reach Athens sooner than the Persians did. That is why this time he left the usual safe route and chose another one that passed through cliffs and mountains but was much shorter. Just the other day, Pheidippides had travelled more than 200 kilometers from Athens to Sparta and back. Now, once again, he had to run from the seashore to the city of Athens. It would be a long and difficult route, but Pheidippides was a young man and he was ready to do anything for his state. He decided to take a new route which had mountains, cliffs, and was dangerous, but would take less time to reach the city of Athens. Pheidippides scaled the first steep cliff and picked up speed. He had to run more than 40 kilometers. It was very hot. He began to perspire. There were some shady olive trees on one side of the road, but Pheidippides couldn't wait, couldn't rest. He just ran on and on. His heart began to beat faster. He became weak with hunger and thirst. But he didn't stop. At last, Pheidippides came within sight of the city gates of Athens. He was successful in his mission. He had reached before the Persians. The people of Athens threw open the gates to Pheidippides. What happened, Pheidippides? Do you bring good news or? Yes, yes, joy to you. We won, we won. As soon as Pheidippides had delivered this message, he collapsed, never to rise again. He had laid down his life in the service of Athens. The story of Pheidippides has inspired the people of Greece for many centuries. His historic run from Marathon to Athens became a legend. When the Olympic Games were started in Greece, this legendary event was commemorated in it in the form of the sporting event, the marathon. Today, marathons are arranged in many countries. When you see one or when you are old enough to take part in one, remember the first marathon runner. So Pheidippides takes the message from the army general to deliver it to the people of Athens. He begins running towards the city of Athens. On his way, he does not stop to rest at all. He keeps running and running. With time, he starts feeling thirsty. He feels very hungry. His heart is beating faster. But Pheidippides knows that there is no time to wait. He keeps running and finally he reaches the gates of the city of Athens. When he completes his mission, his heart is full of joy. He has reached the city of Athens even before the Persians. When the gatekeepers open the gate and ask him, "What happened, Pheidippides? Did Athens win or?" At that time, Pheidippides says, "Yes, Athens won! Athens won!" And these were his last words. After delivering this message, Pheidippides collapses and breathes his last. In memory of this great Greek hero, the sport of marathon is conducted every time in the Olympic Games. Today, marathons are run for different purposes all over the world. So, children, I hope you will never forget the legend of the marathon, the great Greek hero Pheidippides, and his great sacrifice for his country. Children, I hope you all enjoyed today's session. I would now request you all to please make some time and share the story that we studied today with your friends and family. Children, till we meet next time, please take care, bye-bye and stay safe.